Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village Project. I'm hanging out with the chickens today inside of the coop and I want to do a video about kind of expanding more on compost and talk about the method that we're going to use to generate lots of compost with no labor, virtually no labor, and it's also going to feed our chickens and keep them happy and safe. So right now I'm hanging out in what is actually a chicken tractor. This is a portable tractor, large enough for me to fit inside. And this is their temporary housing. It's definitely a little bit crowded, but this is not where they're going to be living. We're about to embark on the larger build, and we're going to have several different chicken systems. We'll have free rangers, we'll have some chicken tractors, but we're going to have one static coop. And the reason for that is that this coop is going to be dedicated to the manufacture of vast quantities of compost. And so we've been running a small-scale experiment in this tractor where we take full-size leaves, and we throw big piles of them in here, and then I throw their grain into the leaves. I don't give them a container. I'm making them scratch through the leaves. And with just 3 or 4 days, look at what we get. Very nice, shredded up, small, fine leaves. These are gonna break down way faster. They have urine and manure in them now too, so they're much richer. So they've already got the nitrogen inside of the carbon ready to go. This is ready to make compost. And also we don't have big leaves that are gonna blow over our small seedlings in the garden, so they'll do much better as a mulch or a top dressing for our garden. So it's worked really well. Our experiment is successful. They're even shredding up sticks and things like that too, small sticks. And so they're doing a really good job of this. So what we're gonna be doing is building a larger coop with a large outdoor run that's gonna be built kind of on a slope. And we're gonna have large opening doors that are made for us to throw large volumes of organic matter in for them to process. And all they have to do is do what chickens do best. They scratch, they eat, they peck through, they look for bugs, and they poop on everything. And they're very good at that. So what we're going to be doing is designing this larger enclosure to have a large opening door that's high up. So it's not a full-size door. It's going to be like a half door from the top that you open up, kind of like a window. That way we can throw lots of compost in and lots of mulches and wood chips and leaves through the top and not have chickens escaping when we do so. And we'll do that towards the top of the coop, and we'll throw the grain in there and they'll slowly dig through and root through, and it will get broken down and it'll drift downhill. And we're gonna pile it deep. It's gonna be as many feet deep as we can get it. And then we're also integrating a swale slightly off contour that will run through the coop, through the middle of it. Of course, we'll have to make sure we really block up the sides of that on the coop with really good wire so predators don't get in through that ditch. But the idea is that all of this stuff will break down and become compost underneath the chickens, which they'll love because there will be tons of grubs and stuff under them for them to root under. But the bottom layers of that finished compost, that's what will become smaller and smaller, and eventually, when that water is rushing through the swale, it will push it through the sides of the coop there, and this will be our filter. This will screen everything, so nothing bigger than that hole is going to get through. So what's going to come out of it will be finished compost eventually when it finally breaks down enough. A process that should be sped up pretty well by having a whole bunch of chickens on top, scratching through, pooping, adding lots of nitrogen, breaking it down. And then we're going to have a spot that exits the coop, exits the swale, and there'll be a large pit. And the idea hopefully is that we will be able to just go in about a year's time and just take shovelfuls of finished compost and load them right into a wheelbarrow or a tractor or whatever we're loading it into, making basically all of our compost production automated. The only hands-on part of that will be shoveling it into the coop. So this is a solution that would work really well in suburban areas if it's successful, because if you didn't have a lot of area to free range, but maybe you have a lot of neighbors that are mentally deranged and bag up their leaves and leave them out for the trash man. I don't understand that mentality, exporting your fertility off your land, but you know, I guess there's a type of person for everything. So you have a chance to steal those free grass, leaves, as well as sometimes grass clippings. Even more insane is that people cut their grass, bag up the grass, and put that by the trash. So great solution for a suburban area, and we're going to try it here in this rural setting as well, and just try to generate thousands of pounds of compost hands off. So of course I'll keep everybody updated on that project, but I wanted to show you the quick results of this experiment, which is these chickens just doing the best chicken job they can do. They're shredding up these leaves, and I think they're having more fun in this confined space. I feel really bad about having to have them in here, but of course it's just temporary. You know, we're living in our house under temporary conditions. The rabbits are too, the dog is too, and so are the chickens. You know, we're building better housing for everybody as fast as we can. But in the meantime, they're kept a lot more happy because they have something to scratch at and claw at, and the mulch keeps it drier in here, and they've been noticeably cleaner since I've started adding these leaves. So there's lots of side benefits to doing this. But anyway, Give it a try if you're doing an enclosed coop. Just turn it into a mulch compost making machine. Give the chickens something to do all day, utilize their labor. These are your best employees right here. They'll do a lot of work for you. They'll do so much work that basically the meat and the eggs they make us, that's just a side benefit to everything else I do. So hope this is useful and gets you thinking about really efficient solutions like that. In the meantime, everybody, stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading.